Two of my favorite things in Minecraft are building villages and bees. I mean, just look at them go. Bees are the best. I love incorporating them into my world. I feel like they add so much life to your builds. So I thought, why not make a build dedicated to bees? So we're going to make a bee village, or a bee-lidge. Yeah, sure, a bee-lidge. Now, I want to stay fairly close by the base, but not too close. I feel like a bee village wouldn't make sense in the mountains. So instead, I'm thinking of just setting up somewhere in this birch forest. It's quite a nice bit of flat land, so I think we could make it work. First up, tree removal. There we go. That should be big enough. Plus, we can still see parts of the base from here, which I like. Now, the question is, what on earth does a bee house look like? Obviously, more than just a bee nest or a bee hive. Now, I went through multiple iterations before landing on something like this, and it's actually pretty heavily inspired by another creator by the name of Benji. I will leave a link to their stuff in the description down below, but I think it looks great. It's like the perfect combo of an actual beehive and just a normal house. It is, however, not finished. You may notice there are some holes missing from all 4 of the walls. That's where we need to put some bee nests. I always struggle to say that, the plural of bee nest, bee nests, or chests, or guests. It's like there's another S that isn't needed, but it kind of is. Anyway, so the way we get our hands on some of those is by growing trees, just like these right here. Birch or oak will do the job, within a certain distance from a flower. And when you do that, there's a chance a bee nest will spawn with the tree. I need 24 of these things, and just look how many trees I've had to go through just to get one. I'm hoping I just got really unlucky. About an hour and a half later, I have all the birch I could possibly ever need, and 26 bee nests, which is more than enough. I'll be honest, that took a little bit longer than I thought it would. I think for now, I'm just going to leave the bees over here in this shulker box. I have a feeling if I put them in the house now, they're just going to fly off and get lost because we don't really have any flowers around. Although we don't have any out here, we do, however, have some inside the house, as well as 3 bee nests, or beehives these are actually. I thought it would be a neat idea to have some bees outside the houses as well as inside. Unfortunately, I don't really trust their ability to use doors or go through holes at all really, so we are going to have to separate them. The thing is, these are empty at the moment, there's no bees inside of them, so we got to figure out a way to get some inside the building. Which is why I have built this bee breeding aviary. I've just got it tucked away to the side of where the bee village is going to go. I'm not 100% certain if I'm going to keep it. It looks okay, but we'll see what it looks like when the actual village is done. But the inside, lovely and colourful. I think the bees are very much going to enjoy breeding inside of here. We've got 27 bee nests dotted around the lower part of the build that I'm hoping, in theory, will gradually start to fill up and we can replace them as and when they're full. So for now, if we just dot a couple of bee nests up there, we can begin to breed these bees up and they should start to go in the empty hives. If they could just hold still. They're kind of tricky to click on with all these flowers around. So I'm going to continuously check up on these guys, get lots and lots of bees, and in the process I'll see if we can do some more work on the village over here. 5 brand new bee houses, all a little bit different, but in essence pretty much the same, which is kind of how I think it should be for a village. The shape and size of them vary ever so slightly, some a lot bigger than others and some a lot smaller than others, but they all look like they belong together, which is the main thing. I haven't quite finished the interiors of them just yet, but that's fine. We don't have any bees to put in there, so I'll get to that when we've got some ready. Not that you can really see, because they're all hiding away in the hives, but I have been breeding these guys up quite a bit. Oh, there we go. Case in point. However, I'm a bit scared I'm going to get stung sooner or later, so I need some protection. Oh, yeah, that's better. The bees cannot get me now. That means we're probably also ready to move some of the bee nests into these gaps that I've got, once we actually, you know, get some flowers around here. I think for the time being, we're just going to keep it nice and simple and plant a bunch of these everywhere. That way they'll at least be nice and easy to break down once we want to get rid of them. And most importantly, it'll just stop the bees from flying away and keep them fairly local for now. There we go. That's definitely a choice. I'm honestly a little bit creeped out by them. It just kind of feels like they're watching me. So we've got 6 houses and each of them need 4 bee nests. I think I've done my maths right. So I guess without further ado, welcome to the world, little ones. Let's get you plopped in here, and honestly I'm going to try and be pretty quick about this just in case they actually make it through to the beehives inside. I want them staying outside, these ones. And there we go. That is the final one. These guys are, well, busy bees working away already. I've also calculated that there are enough room for 20 more bees inside of all of these bee nests, so I'm gonna only get 20 more and try and keep it at that. I don't want to overflow the beehives, but at the same time, I want to make sure, you know, we got enough around here. Because bees in this game do have a habit of just kind of flying off into the distance and never returning. But these guys look like they know the drill so far. The next step, I suppose, is to work around these guys and improve their home, because it is not staying like this, that's for sure. I figured this middle part of the village would make for a nice place for a pond, as a bit of a centerpiece really. But the thing is, there's nothing really for the bees to get pollen from here. So I built them a nice custom azalea tree with plenty of flowering leaves. I like it. At least it's better than the sunflowers, that's for sure. We have also reached maximum bee capacity of 72 bees. Doesn't really seem like that, but a lot of them do stay inside of the nests. I do keep occasionally seeing them come over here, so potentially we may have lost some to the beehives over here, but as you can see, the inside lot are racking up the numbers pretty quickly. I don't think we're at full capacity yet because some of them don't even have honey in, but I'm keeping on going, and soon enough we can move them on over to inside the houses of the beelage. Which, by the way, are now done. I've finished all 6 of the interiors, so they are looking very ready for some bees to actually get inside of here. Plenty of flower options for them. I've also hidden some of the firefly bushes under the floor here, I think under just a few of the spots, like that one right there, and it just adds these tiny amount of particles which I think just look really nice. Anyway, now we have to continue working on replacing the sunflowers with some other stuff. I like the look of the azalea tree in the pond, so I figured why not just add a few more of them dotted around. Usually when I build a village, I'll make pathways going around, which makes the floor a little bit more interesting. Obviously, the bees aren't really going to be using the pathways, so they don't make a lot of sense. So instead, we're just going to mix in some other blocks all around this area, just so it's not only grass around. I think the only thing we're really missing now is flowers. The thing is, I don't really have any flowers left. I used most of them up doing the interiors of the building, so we are going to have to go on a little bit of a flower collecting mission. We are going to need cornflowers, oxeye daisies, all of the tulips, lily of the valleys, and blue orchids. There we go. That is a lovely sight. I gotta say, one of my favorite things about the wildflowers here is you don't just have to make this single patch of flowers. You can kind of go off and make a bit of a different shape, just placing them ever so slightly, and then you get this sort of random bunch of flowers all grouped together. Same with the pink petals, like, look at that. That's pretty nice, right? Now, I know what you're thinking. It's too much. In any ordinary build, I would despise this. It is far too colourful, there's so much going on, and it's just crazy busy. But I think with a bee village, we can make an exception, because these guys live for flowers. That is all they do all day long. Go get pollen, return to the homes, rinse and repeat. Sure, I could build some park benches or a shop or something like that, but what use does a bee have for that thing? This is a bee village, not a villager village. And besides, even though it does burn the retinas of my eye a little bit, it's kind of pretty at the same time. I think something we are missing though is some more of this grass, just to kind of help dull away from the color a little bit. Yeah, you know what? That actually helps a little bit. It just sucks out a tiny part of that saturation. The last thing we've got to do is just bring the forest back in a little bit. I'm beginning to think we've got enough bees now. So I'm going to wait for it to get to nighttime, let them all go inside of their homes, and then we'll move them into the village. So I've just been checking the houses, and quite a lot of the beehives already have honey in, and I've actually seen a couple of bees. Thing is though, I have no idea how they would have got through here. That's okay, I guess that just means it saves me moving quite as many on in, and that frees me to breed a few more outside here, because honestly, it's a little bit quiet. All of the beehive houses are now full to the brim with occupants, and I overestimated that a little bit. They've only just gone inside, but there are plenty of bees left inside of this aviary, so I think I'm gonna leave it standing. Oh, there's one of them now. Plus, if I ever want bees for a future project, I've now got a place to come back to and breed them up. The final thing I would like to do to complete our bee village is to add some spore blossoms around. These always just add that little bit of ambience. Can you not place them on leaves? Oh, that ruins my plan. Oh, and you guys want them too. I wonder, does it work the same as the firefly bush? If I put them underground, can I still see the particles? I don't think so. That's alright, we'll make it work by just placing them under a couple of the logs. Might mean some leaf breaking, but that's alright. We'll make it work somehow. Ah, there we go. That's nice. Just seeing some of those little particles flying around. The bees are all out for their morning pollination. The ones on the inside hopefully are doing the same thing. They don't have quite as nice a life, which is maybe why they're having a lion. Can't really say I blame them. Okay, I was gonna call this project finished, but I have just had a little bit of an idea. I don't have many, so if this works, it is gonna require building a farm, but I want to try something with resin. Oh, I like that. Yeah, putting that underneath the beehives right by the entrance. I actually have enough to do every single house. But on the other hand, what does it look like if we kind of just plop it around a little bit? I'm not sure. Okay, I definitely like it underneath the beehive where the honey is actually dripping down, so we are definitely gonna do that. But honestly, I'm thinking I'm gonna need resin at some point in time. Maybe this is a good excuse to build a farm for it. Is this how we activate it? Maybe I need to wait for nighttime. I can't remember. Well, either way, we need to get the creaking inside of this gap. So let's go ahead and just prep the trap beforehand. And now we wait. Come on, my friend. Notice me. There we go. Now we take him over here. Alright, is this gonna work if I just kind of... Nope, you went right over that. Okay, can I possibly push you in? No, you can't be pushed, can you? Okay, that's fine. We'll get there eventually. Nope. I think I might need to make this hole a bit bigger. Now the issue with that is I've got to do it without taking my eyes off him. Is that any better? Will you go down there? No, okay. I've really messed this up a little bit, haven't I? Well, now he's stuck. He can't get out of the water, I don't think. That's okay, that just gives me time to prepare a little bit. I can make a proper trap that I think he should fall down. Okay, if we just get rid of the water... Oh! You're already out. Come on. Down you go. Oh, he's just gone straight over again. I know you're going to fit down there. There we are. Okay, we did it. Let's kill this guy and name tag him. Let's not forget to do that. And you, my friend, are trapped. Okay, Mr. Creaking is trapped in the hole, and I think it should be working if I just give him a smack. I should say, this is my own design. It is far, far, far from the most efficient resin farm in the world, but as you can see, it works. Slowly, very, very slowly, but surely. And honestly, I'm completely fine with it being a little bit slow. I'm probably not going to use resin blocks anytime soon. I mainly just want it for the little clumps here, and I probably don't need more than like a stack, really. That should do me nicely. I think I've ran out of daylight hours. I'm not getting any more resin. Oh yeah, okay, that's very daytime out here. Oh, got a little bit left over. That's a feature, not a bug or a flaw in the farm. Just a little bit extra in the morning. But 43, that should be enough what I need today. Hello, my beautiful bees. I have returned, and I'm here to clump up your houses. Now, what do we think if I just do like a little bit on the outside? I don't hate it. Maybe we only just do a couple instead of too many. Or possibly on the floor here? Oh, I like that actually. That works. And last one round here. There we go. All of the houses have their resin clumps added with the dripping honey effect. I think that is awesome. And I've got just the right amount with one left to spare. But that, everybody, is the village all done. I'm actually really quite happy with how this project has come together. I am a bit iffy on the flowers still, so I would appreciate some feedback where that is concerned. As you can see, it's a pretty easy fix if we want to change it up. It won't take me very long. But thank you guys ever so much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.